Hi everybody, welcome to this expert division specific video for the Skyline Marina tournament here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. Please hit thumbs up on this playthrough and subscribe to the channel as well if you're new here. Very warm welcome. These are replays and adjustments from previous tournaments only in expert. So if you are playing expert and want some additional help or some examples of shots you might want to use, then this video will be for you. Timestamps in the video description down below. Remember to tweak according to the wind directions you will get in the tournament, as well as your club's balls and play style. Bear in mind these are old replays, so use the old power settings. So if I refer to power 5, it is now power 10, and so on. Good luck, here we go. So we're going to use Berserker, and I'm using APOC here. You could use an APOC 4 here, you'll have to push up 7 yards after adjusting. Going with just under 2 topspin, 2 bars side spin to the left. If you have stronger wind than this, I would dial the topspin back a little bit more. Stretch out and have the bullseye in between the 2 bunkers in the centre of that rough patch. Then the adjustment here is max plus 5. Push up only if you have APOC 4. And then we go with full overpower, slow needle, half a ball of curl to the left. So nice and easy to hit perfect on this one. Bounces very nicely in the rough and will roll out with the topspin. Could maybe have gone with a little bit less topspin, but there we are going to have a very simple end bringer wedge, no spin, 20% elevation, power 5. We're going to do a club swap to set up on the drive, otherwise we've got no reference. We're just aiming in the middle of nowhere with the APOC. So start with the quarterback, before spin, have the ball guide pointing to that left little recess in the bunker there. Where the rough cuts into it at the top of that plus yards shown, and then we're going to switch to the APOC. Then add spin, 5.8 top spin, 3 bars side spin. To the right you can play this one with the APOC 4 as well. Then we're going to adjust max plus 10 power 3 settings. So max plus 10 power 3 takes us only just into plus yards. With APOC 5 will be about plus 7 with APOC 4 after you've adjusted. Going with full overpower, it's a slow needle with APOC 5, slightly less slow with APOC 4, but you could always switch to a power 4 side spin 3 ball to give you an even slower needle. Top spin does the trick there, takes us out of the rough, and we're going to want something around 325 yards. Second shot, we're going to play rings from min with sniper. Add spin first, 1.8 backspin, 2 bars, side spin, to the left. Then we're going to find the minimum distance line, so make sure you've packed the Grizzly and not the Goliath, because you don't have a very easy min line to push against. Then you're going to count rings from min to have the yellow ring touching the rough line, top of the yellow ring touching the rough, and the ball guide is going to be intentionally offset. And this is the important thing here. This is a bit of a touchy shot to play, but you want the left edge of the ball guide touching the right hand edge of the hole. Rings from min, 0 elevation. So once again, it's 2.5% slider on average per ring from min. Always check the club distance yourself. If you've got a slider percentage chart handy, then that will be ideal, because you want to be as accurate as possible to get this shot to drop. So 0 elevation, rings from min, or basically true club distance. And you've got room here. As you can see, I think I pushed up 8 rings from min. So even if you get a little bit more of a roll out on your drive, you're not going to be in between clubs, providing you set up the drive correctly. Perfect ball away, and we sneak this one in for an eagle on. So we're going to lay up with the rock, and you can see I'm going with top spin and side spin to the right as shown. Setting up here, avoiding that glitchy spot. Top of plus 3 with the rock level 8. That will be top of plus 2 with the rock level 9. Then we switch to the APOC and Goliath bag. With the rock, it was red ring touching the rough. Adjustment, once you've made your club switch, is going to be max plus 10, power 3. Doesn't matter if you've got APOC 4, you're still going to be fine here. You may, though, well adjust into overpower. So if you do, be sure to add enough on. Inner wall curl to the right here, and then we want to hit perfect, of course, especially with mid to low level APOCs. This is a little bit of a narrow drive, but it bounces over very nicely, and you get a fairly consistent rollout here. Around 315 yards is what you're looking for. Second shot, we're going to play with the Goliath, otherwise you'll be in between clubs. Fringe check here, +4, that is actually where the fairway is. It's a fairway check, sorry. +4 fairway check, because the fairway and fringe lines are very close to each other, is going to be 82% slider, 15% elevation, power 4. We add spin as shown, yellow ring touching the rough, and the ball guide is passing the right edge of the cup. So left edge of the ball guide touching the right edge of the cup. Important to have that offset, because you'll see here the wind angle is going to push that little second bounce in towards the pin. So that's why we offset here. So power 4 settings is the last part of the equation. I'm pulling over the bullseye. In slightly more headwind angle, you might adjust into overpower. It hadn't happened to me this morning, but obviously there's always some potential for wind angle variance and wind speed variance as well. But that adjustment there with the fairway checker +4, falling very nicely for an eagle. I'm going to go with a Titan rather than a Kingmaker. Let's save a Kingmaker, shall we? Max topspin with the extra mile level 9. If you've got APOC 7 and above, obviously play with that instead, because it's more accurate. 2 bars right spin, stretch out to the power 3 max extension, have the ball guide pointing right down the middle of the fairway. Then we're going to go max +10, and for a 9.8 mile per hour wind, I'm going to push this one up 1.5 rings with the extra mile 9. Different ring sizes for APOC though, so make sure you do a conversion if you're using that club. I would try and keep the wind below 10 miles per hour here. A bit of curl is shown, and then it's full overpower, slow needle. You can see there any more wind on that, and I might be going into the water, so be careful on the push-up. Take a token or two if you want to get a feel for different wind strengths, but 9.8 is probably the limit of where I'd want it to be, really, with a Titan. Second shot with a Thorn, going to do a WRPC, that well-known golf clash abbreviation. It stands for White Ring Pin Check. So move your white ring to the pin as I did in the video. Look at the plus yards displayed. Then we're adding spin, a little bit of backspin, 2 bars side spin to the right, because I don't want to be aiming any closer to the bunker than I need to. Ball guide to the hole, and then for a +1 white ring pin check, I'm going 54% slider, 15% elevation. Information is on the notepad there on the screen as well. Pulling over the bullseye for accuracy, and also because that's how the adjustment is worked, so make sure you do the same. Otherwise you might just burn the edge if you don't pull over the bullseye. Perfect ball away, bounces very, very nicely there, and we're dropping it for the eagle. So even though it's extra mile 9, slower needle, good chance of hitting perfect, but if you've got a more accurate driver with the top spin, then obviously you should use that instead. I'm playing with Apocalypse and Kingmaker with Apoc 5 and 6, blue ring touching the bunker, half of the blue ring inside the rough on the right. Then we add spins, 6 top spin or 5.8 is max with Apoc 5, 2 bars side spin to the right. Adjustment here, mid distance, 10% elevation. So make sure you play mid, not max. Mid +10 on this one, 8.6, going to give me 5.9 rings. If anything, I would favour 1201. I favour 1159 here. It puts me a little bit close to the bunker and a little bit longer than I would like to have been. So favour 1201. Then we are going to go with half wall curl to the right and then hit perfect. And you will need to note down your drive distance here. We have had a similar wind angle in the past, so I'm basing this on a previous setup that we've had within the team. Second shot, I do miss this one to the right, have slightly higher winds, so I should have compensated, but it's max backspin, 0.8 side spin to the right, and then we find position with the ball guide going to the hole. Pretty difficult to see unless you spin the camera around, because otherwise that club label just gets in the way. Now with the drive distance I had here, I played this one 25% slider, 85 elevation, yes, 85 elevation. Needed a little bit more though on this one. Also had higher winds, so maybe that might need just an extra 0.1 if you have anything over kind of 8.5, 8.4. But we want the ball to bounce back, misses slightly to the right, so tweak needed on there, but a decent approach on hole 1 for an eagle. Pretty much straight tailwind here on this one. So I'm going to show you an option here. 5.5 top spin, 2 left spin, stretch out to absolute max, aim in the middle of that fairway. Red ring touching the rough with APOC 5 and 6. We are then going to adjust max plus 10 power 5. There's a lot of ways you can play this. You can lay up if you don't want to go aggressive. And you can also go with less topspin and play a thorn second shot. I'm going to show you a max wedge here. But like I said, there's loads of ways you can play this one. So feel free, give it a go or tweak if you don't quite find this one according to your play style. Make our adjustment, then I'm pushing up 8 yards for this wind strength. Different wind strengths, you would need to vary the push-up. And you can see here I'm going about 1 3/4 ball curl to the left. Slower needle. APOC 4 would need to push up an extra 7 yards, so have that one in mind, but it bounces comfortably on the middle of the fairway island, does not threaten the rough at all, and tracks down the middle of the final piece of fairway. Drive distance 454 yards. From here I'm too far away to play Endbringer School, so I'm actually going to play true club distance with the Endbringer, but still use no spin. But look at the ball guide, it is short of pin by about a green square, because there is a hefty tailwind here, actually about half a green square short. Could even back it up slightly more. I think this one comes in not really hot, but maybe a little bit too pacey than we might like. True club distance plus 15% elevation. I'm taking away 2% slider per yard here, so I think this one would have been played around 94 or 96% slider. 15 elevation, 2 pulls over the bullseye on this one with the Endbringer. Like I said, if you want to get a shorter drive, you could play with the thorn. You'd have to push up a few rings though to be able to adjust back with the tailwind angle. So the choice is yours. You've got a couple of options, but we dropped this one very nicely for an eagle. Might have slightly more crosswind, slightly more headwind, so always judge yourself and tweak as needed. But as a general setup here, 2 top spin and 3 right spin. Setting up at +2 with the APOC level 5 and above, +8 with APOC 4, second bounce as shown after adding spin, because different club levels will have different ring sizes. APOC 5 and 6 is going to be red ring touching the rough. Adjust max +10, APOC 4 you might be going into overpower, so if so, add that on. And we're going with outer wall curl to the right and wanting, of course, to hit perfect. Sometimes you're going to get a slightly different rollout than others here. It's not 100% consistent fairway, but around 325 is going to be fine. But if you're slightly more than that, if you're around 330, you're still going to be fine for the second shot. We're going to play rings from min. Add spin first though. 2 bars side spin to the left and 6 bars of back spin, so you need a decent level sniper. Add your spin first, find the minimum distance line, and then push up, count the number of rings to get to the position shown. In my instance here, it's going to be about 10 rings. Blue ring touching the bunker, ball guide as shown. Then we're going to adjust rings from min plus 30% elevation. It averages out at 2.5% slider per ring. So as a ballpark figure, if you've pushed up 10 rings, you're going to play that in between min and mid. So that would be 25% on the slider. But check out the Rings Bible tutorial and the Rings from Min tutorial. You can find these tables and slider charts around to give you accurate figures. But try and be as accurate as possible and always check your distance yourself. But 30% elevation there. Rings from Min or true club distance dropping nicely for the eagle. Nasty wind angle here. We're going to go with the APOC and a Kingmaker. 5.8 top spin, 3 side spin to the right. And the ring reference here is the white ring touching the rough at the top of +2. You can see the second bounce just before the edge of the rough up ahead. Obviously different club levels, different accuracy, so have a look at the second bounce there if you can't use the white ring reference. Max +10, power 3. APOC 4 is going to struggle on this one and will be adjusting into overpower. What I do is swap to a power 4, wind 3, side spin 3 ball just to give myself a slower needle. You don't have to do that, but if you stick with a Kingmaker with APOC 5+, you're going to have a shaky needle to deal with. Perfect ball away, and we clear the rough nicely. Top spin takes us along with that little glitch roll that we often get here, but we're not risking the rough, so that's always good. 385 yards. Second shot, we're going to do a fringe check here, where the fringe meets the green. Make sure you use the correct line. +6 in this instance with the sniper 10 would be, of course, +8 with the sniper level 9. Adding the spin you could see there, and setting up with the top of the yellow ring touching the rough with the ball guide 1 green square through the hole. Adjustment here, 77% slider, 5% elevation. Use sniper 10 numbers, and regardless of whether you did a ball swap, we're still going to use power 3 settings, and that's the same for the drive as well. So even if you switch to a power 5 side spin 3 ball, still going to use power 3 numbers because that's what has been working very nicely. Perfect ball away. We just miss on the left edge as we look from the line of the shot. The tweak there given in the commentary and on the notepad should get you right at the pin. Start with an NMT drive. Who doesn't love an NMT drive? 5.5 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left. So make sure you have your right driver and your kingmaker selected. A max +5 is the adjustment here. Max +5, even though we're not at max distance of club. You will need pen and paper. Write down your drive distance on this one, because we'll need it for the second shot. Half a ball of curl to the left, hit perfect, and away we go. Slight dead roll on this drive most of the time from experience. Remembering this hole in the past, you will get slightly longer, but even if you have a short drive here, you're still going to be fine. You see there it just checks up quite short, but usually going to be about 355 to 360. Second shot going to go direct at it with the thorn, and here very quick back fringe checker +5, but like I say, you can use drive distance as well. Then we're going to add spin. It is going to be 2 back spin and 2 side spin to the right. Add spin first, ball guide to the hole. Now for my drive distance here, played this one 68 slider, 15 elevation. However, you will see I just sneaked this one in on the left edge. So I should have gone 62, which was my original judgment call. I added 0.1 thinking it was high wind, didn't need to. So stick with 62% slider, 15 elevation, pull over the bullseye, hit perfect, and with the tweak you should be dropping this one right at the pin, all being well. Perfect ball, bounces nicely near the bunker, and just sneak it in for the eagle. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.